Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Professor Sukoso, head of Director General of Halal Product Assurance Body from Ministry of Religious Affairs of Indonesia. So today it is a very, very important and I think very nice opportunity for me to introduce and giving you all to understand when you are doing business in Indonesia, especially for halal product. Because you as I would like to introduce you the law number 33 2014 is the basic line to do business in Indonesia. Well, that is the next. Oh, sorry. So before we talk about the business, I would like to introduce you the background that we start concern with the halal based on the research from the one university in East Java province, that is the Brawijaya University, that the one of researchers, Professor Dr. Tri Susanto, identified and found the derivative product based on pig, like such as gelatin, lard in food and beverages. And what the effect of his presentation in that time, the effect is 20 until 30% sale product decrease. Of course, this is very, very big problem in my country, in Indonesia. Then in that time, the government invited the Majlis Ulama Indonesia or Indonesia Ulama Council. This is a kind of the NGO, non-government organization, with specific on the Islamic Council, solve the problem by establishing Institute for Halal Food and Drug, and we call it LP-POM MUI, or we call it Lembaga Pengawasan Produk Obat dan Makanan. So here is the start of the concern Indonesia to think about the necessary for halal certification. But when we start for certification in 1989, become a voluntary because no law and no regulation, only as the the solving the problem for the problem in that time. And other one is the Ajinomoto scandal in 2001. It's also having the problem when the product contains some of the a pig product based derivative like gelatin, and of course it will have the bad for the market in Indonesia. So, you know, Indonesia is the country with the biggest Muslim population in the world. Therefore, if we talk about the halal, this is really very, very sensitive. Therefore, the parliament, based on the two problems, in 1988 and 2001, so Parliament of Indonesia published law number 33 in 17 October 2014. This law is the basic line to implement the halal product assurance due by the government. The government, and after that, after the law number 33, the government regulation also released in 2019, following with the Ministry of Religious Affairs regulation. All of the law and also the regulation is all the basic line to implement the halal product assurance in Indonesia. Well, so the concern of halal for Indonesian government, as I mentioned before, of course, it based on our constitution in 1945, that a country Indonesia give the assurance for implementing the beliefness to reflect the religion values. And of course, based on that constitution, we implement in the law number 33 and government regulation number 31, Ministry of Religious Affairs number 26. But in the case of Tohiba, we have also a institution we call is Indonesian National Agency for Drug and Food Control or for Drug Administration. So both the institution is under the government. I mean BPJPH or Halal Product Assurance agency under the Ministry of Religious Affairs, but the other one is the BPOM or Food Drug Administration under National Agency. So here I would like to introduce you the position of Indonesia, because as I mentioned before, as the world's largest island country with more than 17,000 islands, more than 100 local languages with Indonesia as national language, and more than 260 million people with 80% as a Muslim. So really it is a very, very big market for halal product. In other case, it is only additional information about national economic growth, GDP, and GDP per capita. Well, why we implement the halal product assurance? Because it's as a principle of our life in Indonesia. We have a Pancasila, that is the 5 principles for official foundational philosophy theory of Indonesia. The one as Indonesian must believe in the Almighty of God, a just and civilized humanity, a unified Indonesia, democracy led by the wisdom in consensus or representative, and social justice for all Indonesia. So I would like to introduce my institution. This is the Halal Product Assurance Agency or Assurance Body under the Ministry of Religious Affairs and led by General Director of the BPJPH on the 2nd of August 2017. Officially launched on 11 of October 2017. The legal fundament of establishment for the BPJPH law number 33, and also we have a presidential regulation number 83, Ministry Religious Affairs regulation number 42. For based on that regulation, presidential regulation number 83, 2015, about the Ministry of Religious Affairs, state in article number 45 under 48, according to the BPJPH, and Ministry of Religious Affairs regulation number 42 in 2019, who published the BPJPH in the structure of the BPJPH. Well, this is the organization structure of Ministry Religious Affairs Republic Indonesia, the position of the Halal Product Assurance Body. That is the position like other General Director, for example, for Islamic Education, Islamic Community Guidance, Christian Community Guidance, Buddhism, Catholic, and so on, under the Ministry of Religious Affairs Republic of Indonesia. And this is the structure of the organization, the ministry, as a state in the Ministry Religious Affairs number 42 regulation. So here is the concerning the organization structure of Halal Product Assurance Body, that we have 4 departments, that is the Secretary Department, Registration and Certification Department, Guidance and Supervision Department, Cooperation and Standard Department. Well, so we start as the institution normally in 2018. So now is 3rd year we do as the formal institution doing for halal certification in Indonesia. First, of course, we implementing the law number 33 by publishing government regulation number 31 in 2019 about the implementation of halal product assurance. And we also make clearly the position of the BPJPH or Halal Product Assurance Agency, that we are as the public service agency. And also we have the Ministry of Religious Affairs Regulation number 26, according the implementation Halal Product Assurance. And also we prepare candidate halal auditors that until now we reached around 222, 26 people and ready to competence test. The candidate of halal inspection agency, we also range about 77 halal inspection agency surrounding in the Indonesian territory. Here is we work together with some public university and Islamic Foundation, and we signed the MOU around 120 MOUs in order to support the Halal Inspection Agency, also the Halal Center. Another one, we also work together with Ministry of Manpower with decree number 266. We prepare for Indonesian national competence for manpower in the area of halal auditors, and also we did the first international halal dialogue in Jakarta in 12th of November 2019. So in 13th and until 15th November 2019, we BPJPH, me as the head, came to the Geneva for clarifying the position of law number 33 in the event of technical barrier on trade for World Trade Organization, because Indonesia is the member of World Trade Organization. And we also now as a full member of Standard Meteorology Institute for Islamic Country in 4th November 2019. So for concern the halal product, based on the law, this is the very, very important article that I would like to introduce you. Of course, you must understand what is the product. In the article number 1, here is the definition of product are goods and or services that are related to food, beverage, drug, cosmetic, chemical product, biological product, genetically engineered product, as well as consumer goods that are worn, used, or utilized by the public. In terms of the product that enter, circulate, and traded in the territory of Indonesia must be halal certified, as I mentioned in article number 4. But for the product containing non-halal or haram material, it will be excluded from the submitting the halal certification process. But the business operators must attach non-halal information on the product, as mentioned in article number 26. Here is the provision, law number 33, 2014 in article 1. The definition, as I mentioned later, that I mentioned before, that product are goods and or services. Halal product is the product that has been declared halal lawful according to Islamic Sharia. Halal product process is a series of activity to assure the halalness of the product, including material, procurement, process, storage, package, distribution, sales, and presentation of the product, while the material is ingredients used to produce or manufacture the product. So here is making more clear about what is the goods and services. As I mentioned before, that the goods is the food, beverages, and so on. But for the services, it's mean that business that be related to the goods and their chain, like slaughtering, processing, storing, packaging, distributing, sales, and servicing. Maybe you can see like a restaurant, hospital, beauty clinic, spa, and other services that support the process on goods. Well, this is the authority of the BPJPH, or Halal Product Assurance Agency of Indonesia, based on law number 33. We have 10 authority. The number 3, yeah, this is a very important, and I would like to introduce to you all to understand that start from 17 October 2019 that issue and revoke halal certificate and halal label on product conducted as an authority of the BPJPH or Halal Product Assurance Agency. Other one is make and legitimate the halal product assurance policy, legitimate the norms, standard, procedure, and criteria of halal product assurance, registration the foreign product halal certificate, socialize, educate, and announce the halal product, make an accreditation at halal inspection agency, registration the halal auditor, controlling the halal product assurance, developing the halal auditor, and cooperate with domestic and foreign institutions related with the halal product assurance. So as I mentioned before, that we start in 17 October to now 2019, that we are entering in the new era of halal certification process for the producer or a manufacturer who interests to apply for halal certification. The document must be submitted to Halal Product Assurance Agency, or BPJPH, and the BPJPH will verify. After that, the manufacturer have chance to choose the halal inspection agency. If it is here is in Indonesia, we prepare inshallah more than 77 halal inspection agency. From the data audit by the Halal Inspection Agency, BPJP is send the data to Ulama Council and having the fatwa. The fatwa is a basic line for the BPJP is to give the certification of halal. So, but here is I would like to stressing the principles of halal certification is traceability. What is the traceability? It is the activity that identified all the steps from the field until ready the product be consumed. This is the kind of traceability. So in this case, of course, you are, if we are as a Muslim, really this is the halal is a very clear understand for all the Muslims. But in the case of haram, mentioned in the article number 18, 19, and 20 in law number 33. Well, this is the process of the halal certification. That the producer or big company, especially here, must have the halal quality controller or internal auditors. So based on that data from the halal quality controller, means here is halal auditors sent to the BPJPH, then verified by the BPJPH, and then inspected by the halal inspection agency. Totally, until the company received the halal certificate, will be take around 97 days for Indonesia in location in Indonesian company that located in Indonesia, but 114 company in the outside of Indonesia. But because we are now entering in new law, that is the we call as the omnibus law. Everything will be make more efficient, making totally around 21 days for halal process for getting certification. Here for the small medium enterprises, in this case, halal centers, giving the assistance for the small medium enterprises for full service in order to follow the standard of halal. If everything is feasible, then the halal center apply for the halal certification as a representative of small medium enterprises. The process is the same like what the big company do, as I mentioned before. This is the step of halal mandatory. The halal mandatory start at 17 October 2019 with 5 years giving the guidance until 17 October 2024. So 5 years we gave the all of the company or maybe small medium enterprises to make guidance and consultation in order to follow the standard of halal in Indonesia. Food and beverages must be halal certified after 5 years. The halal mandatory started 17 October 2019. Why we put the food and beverages? Because it is the basic need of our life. Therefore, food and beverages is the first priority. For the except for food and beverage product, or that is outside from the food and beverages product, the halal mandatory start at 17 October 2021 with guidance for this period that is various from 7, 10, and 15 years. Well, the next is Indonesian Halal certification flow. I think it is same like what I explained before, that application must be applied from the businessman, apply for halal certification, and then verification due by the BPJPH, confirmation by BPJPH, examination means, and also testing the product if we identify some of unidentified material there based on the laboratory using the standard, international standard ISO 17025. And after examination, and then the document checking again by the BPJPH, making a verification document from Halal Inspection Agency. And then MUI will give the or releasing the halal fatwa and issuing the halal decree. Based on the halal decree, the BPJPH release the certificate for halal. It is the model of halal Indonesian halal certificate that we have the certificate issued by the BPJPH based on article number 42, paragraph 1 of law number 33 2014 with 4 years validity. So if you have applied the certification and published the certification 11 February 2020, it will be valid until 2024. Well, it is also Indonesian Halal label introduced and have the patent by Ministry of Law and Human Rights, but until now we are still keeping this label because some of our policy we have arranged time to give the 5 years after 2019. It will be possible to use by the producer for the labeling of the product, because as we also hear that some of the idea, because some of the especially big company have using the old label, so it's possible to continue until 2024. Well, It is the step of halal mandatory based on Ministry of Religious Affairs Regulation number 26. As I mentioned before, that food and beverages we start in 17 October 2019 with the guidance for 5 years, and for non-food and beverages start in 17 October 2019. But in other case for biological product, including vaccine, and also the medical devices with the D grade risk, we are preparing in the regulated at the presidential regulation. Well, so here is according the cost of halal certification and the step halal mandatory, as I mentioned before, controlling due by staff for to control of the product, the public participation, and law of criminals. The cost here is a halal certificate is charged to business operator. They submit halal certificate application. In case of the business operator is a micro and small business, the cost of halal certificate can be facilitated by other party. What I mentioned here is what we do in Indonesia. So how the public participation, as I mentioned in article number 53, 54, and 55, that the public have the participate in organizing halal product assurance with the activity like socialization halal product assurance, supervise the product that circulate in the market, and also giving the complaints and report to BPJPH if we identify the as a participation of the public for identifying if someone who have no commitment to implement the halal product assurance. Here is the type of the international cooperation that, of course, we hope that the international cooperation of BPJPH with halal certification body or with the basically based on the government to government cooperation. Therefore, we always support if the government do cooperation together with Indonesian government, means the BPJPH, to realize the government to government cooperation. But in other case, maybe the company directly have the cooperation with BPJPH is also possible to implement for halal certification. The government can make an international cooperation about the halal in accordance with the law, means the law number 33, article 46, verse number 1. And halal certificate recognition be in the form for the cooperation to recognized by halal certificate. Here is a mention in the government regulation number 31, who do by the foreign halal agency authorizes to issue halal certificates, as I mentioned in the government regulation number 31 in article number 26, verse 4. Foreign halal certification body who are published halal certificate established by the government or Islamic religious institution recognized by the local government, as I mentioned the government regulation number 31. This is the illustration of type of international cooperation. So it's possible people maybe, I mean the businessmen also possible to work together with our institution directly, or behind the government work together based on the government to government cooperation. The flow of international cooperation: first, halal certification body send the letter to BPJPH, and also the BPJPH will respond by asking about requirement 10-point document, and BPJPH accepted verification, and then do for the verification the 10-point document. The notification will given by BPJPH if the document is incomplete. BPJPH will send the completion letter to halal certification body and the embassy in Jakarta. The embassy preparing MOU for government to government cooperation. And also we discuss the contents of the government to government cooperation and signed by the representative of the country partnership. The contents of draft we also already have prepared, and of course after the sign of the MOU, we realize the next step with mutual recognizing agreement. So here I would like to introduce the possibility of using the standard that's possible using international standard who recognized by the BPJPH or Halal Product Assurance Agency. And maybe you also possible use Indonesian standard like Halal Management Standard, SNI 99001, Halal Poultry Slaughter, SNI 99002, and Halal Ruminant Slaughter, SNI 99003. It is the kind of the type of standard, but unfortunately, here is what I show in the Bahasa Indonesia in Indonesian language. It is a kind of the SNI number 99001 for the slaughtering. Yeah, and it is the halal poultry slaughtering 99002. Yeah, it's fortunately also in Bahasa Indonesia or Indonesian language, and it is the halal ruminant slaughter for SNI 99003. Also here the flow that explained in Bahasa Indonesia in the Indonesian language. And it is a very interesting of a statement that I get from the reference. Of course, it also related with our experience in 1988 and 2001. What state here is if you interest to do the halal, enter to halal product, enter to halal market, we must always thinking about that Muslim are the fastest growing consumer segment in the world. Any company that is not considering how to serve them is missing a significant opportunity to affect both its top and bottom line growth. So I think I would like to introduce you the position of halal global industry here. That we have also halal food, Islamic finance, halal tourism, modest fashion, halal cosmetic and pharmaceutical, also halal media and recreation. And unfortunately, of course, Indonesia, because the biggest population, we need halal food. Therefore, we are not as a top 10 of a producer in the halal food. Also, the halal cosmetic. I just introduced you the location for very interesting location in Indonesia here, Bali, Borobudur, and also in Lombok. Yeah, some of the Mandalika here with the Komodo Island. Yeah. So thank you for your attention. We always say that Halal Indonesia for world community. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.